folks up here are just really happy to see us. They've come out of their homes up here. They've wanted to say hello and they've wanted to greet us. In stark contrast to how they were a year ago when they were scared, when they were frightened, when they were angry. So it's very nice to be up in the community a year later and get that nice warm feeling. When we're talking about meth, you've so often heard that it's household items that we talk about. Well, all of these things, lighter fluid, Drano you might have in your house, you might have some of this live or something. We all know you have salt in the house. These are the types of things that are used in a meth lab. But if you think these things are in your home and you don't have any meth in your home and you've never been around meth, you might want to rethink that. Now back to home security and one of the biggest problems out there. How many times have you done this? Be honest with yourself. How many times have you left the garage door open? Even when you figure you're home, no big deal, you leave the garage open, nothing's going to happen. We begin tonight with a couple of forest fires, which are not only growing, but are closer to the valley than what we're used to. Gary Harper's been chasing the fires and joins us now with the very latest. A city councilman is dead tonight after entering New York City Hall with his killer. Chaos erupted this afternoon outside the City Hall after several gunshots rang out. Unfortunately, violence like this is all too familiar here in the valley. Today's events rang especially close to home for one member of the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors who was shot just after a board meeting 6 years ago. Scott McGee is here with the story.
Well, there's Mayor Rose Wilcox, first-degree murder.
I remember it clearly. It's hard to believe it was 6 years ago.
Almost exactly 6 years ago.
All right. Thanks very much for the report, Scott. And another workplace shooting today, this one at a Texas real estate office. In the end, 2 women lay dead and another one was injured. It happened at a Century 21 Realty office on the north side of San Antonio. Some Cuban refugees found a very creative way to try to reach the United States. They turned a 1951 Chevy pickup into a pontoon boat. Wow.
Ichiro.
I think when she goes down diving like that, she can't even take any kind of oxygen with her because of the pressure.
No, she literally held her breath for 3 minutes and 48 seconds.
Yeah, and there's no safety net.
No, and if you come up too fast, that's a problem too.
No, you can come right up really fast.
Really?
Yeah, that's the science of that.
She was taking her sweet little time coming up.
It's if you go down with oxygen, you can't come up.
Gotcha.
Okay, now that I've taught you that.
D-backs.
And I'm wrong, probably. I don't know.
You're
all right, D-backs. It happened thousands of miles away, but a deadly chopper crash in Washington State is touching people here in the valley. I love pizza. You know what else I love?
Something to dream about.
Ice cream. Yeah, and I've got a story about ice cream and how bad it is for you. Coronaries in cones. That's what the food police are calling ice cream. The nutritional advocates at the Center for Calories, but hey, let's face it, it's really not that good. And speaking of ice cream, poo-poo on them. How'd you like to get some for free? Up next, how to get a free treat from a Valley ice cream shop and help a worthy cause all at the same time. Oh, again, the Make-A-Wish creation is up for free tomorrow night from 5 till 8. Go to any Cold Stone Creamery to get that free ice cream. First, let me begin now with Gary Harper, because whenever the water comes down like this, we regularly see the washes fill up and cars get stuck in water. In fact, there was a swift water rescue, dramatic tonight. Gary Harper was there. Gary? As I've said, this particular area got hit pretty hard. The Red Cross was out here and they were going door to door to find out how people were doing and if they needed shelter for the night. Carrie Pena is covering that part of the story. Carrie? Welcome back, everyone. Of course, we've chosen to stand out here on the west side of Phoenix and show you just how bad this neighborhood is. But things were ugly out in Scottsdale. They had a number of different problems. They, of course, had weather problems, an officer hit by a car, and a number of other things. Mike Watkiss has been out there for the day. Mike, that is the big question. We're going to have that coming up. Also, we got hit hard by this. What were things like out at Sky Harbor Airport? Usually during a storm, they do have troubles at the airport. We'll find out exactly what went on there. And if you're headed down there tomorrow for a trip out of town, the Forest Service estimates it will take $30 million to rehab the 460,000 acres that have been charred by the Rodeo Chetasky fire, and it will take years. The tall ponderosa pine that stand, the ones behind me that are charred, 6 to 10 years before they begin to fall, and hundreds of years before they regrow into the forest it once was. The burned out forest is so desolate, Forest Service workers say it's been nuked. But in these ashes a year later, small signs of life are popping through. Baby junipers have sprouted. New oak has come up. The earliest signs that life among the giant burned out pines is cyclical and will return. It's also dangerous and closed off to campers because the trees could conceivably come crashing down.
It weakened it and it snapped off up about 15 feet.
So this is exactly the type of thing we're talking about in terms of danger.
Right, that is
campers.
The danger. Yes.
So if a camper goes, hey, you know, I think I can go there, what the heck, there's nothing left to burn, you're not talking about what's left to burn, right?
Correct. We're worried about trees falling over. And
for instance, this right here, this is, you say, juniper, all burned out. It's just, will this just stay like this and just rot away? What goes on in the forest with something like this?
Well, eventually it will decompose, but juniper takes years and years to decompose. This burned out carcass could still be here in 50 years.
Could we have a whole other patch of forest by the end of this fire season that looks like this?
Well, yes, I think the conditions that existed here last year exist on many other areas of the forest.
The thing we want you to walk away from after seeing that tonight is no matter what you do, be very careful with fire around the National Forest this summer because it's a very bad year. Very bad year. Make sure you put the campfires out, heed the rules, don't throw the cigarettes out the window, be as careful as you can.